what's up, guys? Jazz Borgonzo here. What's next? 3 stories. And very interesting ones from 3 different aspects, but nevertheless, a chuckle. Let's take a look. Story number 1. This comes out of Outkick. Cortez. Grandma won't take donation from Clay or anybody else. Now, for those who are unfamiliar, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, his grandmother, well, Cortez, of course, as we know here as the little bartender, who still knows nothing about nothing, 2.5 years later, being a congresswoman out of New York District. His grandmother lives in shambles. So a certain someone went out of his way to start a GoFundMe. But let's read. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez claimed in a tweet on Wednesday that people in Puerto Rico, like her grandmother, are being forced to flee ancestral homes and developers are taking them, and blamed Orange Man Bad for blocking aid that was supposed to be sent to the island following Hurricane Maria. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with Hurricane Maria was devastating to the island of Puerto Rico. My parents' ancestral home, my parents who both came from a small town called Twatter, Puerto Rico, in 48 and 51. But when it came to the aid of that country, there were a lot of things that were questionable. There were a lot of things that made you scratch your head. There were a lot of things that you were going, why is this taking so long? Being that there was a group of hurricanes that season that hit Texas, that hit the Gulf, and of course, enveloped Puerto Rico. But with that being said, you had that country being devastated by that and still recovering as of today. Conservative commentator Matt Walsh of Daily Wire fame set up a GoFundMe to raise money to help AOC's grandmother and revealed Saturday that the family of Cortez's grandmother would not be accepting the money he raised with the help of social media. Walsh shared in an email he received from GoFundMe Trust and Safety team that informed him that they had been in communications with the beneficiary's family, who made it clear they will not be accepting the fund raised, which totaled over $100,000. This was from Matt Walsh. Update. Someone in Cortez's abuela's family, or grandmother in Spanish, says she won't take the money, even though Cortez previously claimed that her grandmother was in dire straits and, of course, it was Orange Man's fault. Cortez hasn't acknowledged the effort or thanked us. When a beneficiary doesn't want to accept the funds that have been raised on their behalf, it's standard practice to turn off donations, then refund all donors, GoFundMe told Walsh. My thoughts. The fact of the matter is that for Matt Walsh to go out of his way to create a GoFundMe and to help, not just because it's Cortez's grandmother, could have been anybody's grandmother. That's the type of person Matt Walsh is. Like I said, he's a good egg. He will go above and beyond, not just because he's with Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro, but just kind of person that he is. But for Cortez to be so politically blinded by Matt Walsh's conservatism that she will not take the gift because someone like Cortez, who makes, I don't know, $150,000, $160,000 a year as a congresswoman, can't even help her own damn grandmother by trying to bring her to the States. You know, one, that's being that's sad. Two, it's being hypocritical for her to not take the money, because it wasn't Matt Walsh who cut the check for $100,000. It was people who would just say, hey, well, you know what? Yeah, we see a situation here, and just because it's Cortez's grandmother doesn't mean Cortez's grandmother is a bad person. Cortez is a clown. We all know that. But he's just trying to help. And sadly, when you have those like Matt Walsh and Clay Travis and others who have dipped into their pockets and say, "Hey, I'm cutting a check," bang, and for Cortez to basically spit on that good deed, it's very pathetic of her, and feel very sad for Abuela. But let's move on, shall we? Story number 2. This comes out of the Blaze. Twitter bashed for saying access to its platform is a human right, while accused of silencing conservatives. Twitter argued that a free and open internet is an essential human right in a modern society, which many found to be comical, hypocritical, since big tech platforms is often accused of censoring conservative voices, which is true. The situation stemmed from an ongoing dispute between Twitter and the Nigerian government. Yes, Nigeria, in Africa. Twitter deleted a stern and threatening tweet posted by Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari, I probably butchered it, which condemns attacks on public infrastructure of the country's southeast region, including arson attacks on government offices and police stations. Gee, sounds familiar. Quote, many of those misbehaving today are too young to be aware of the destruction and loss of lives that occurred during the Nigerian Civil War, Buhari wrote on Tuesday, adding, those of us in the fields for 30 months who went through the war will treat them in the language they understand, end of quote. Buhari referenced the, quote, brutal 2-year Nigerian Biafra War, which killed an estimated 1 to 3 million people, mostly from the Igbo tribe of the eastern part of the country between 1967 and 1970. Twitter removed the tweet written by the Nigerian president, claiming it had violated the platform's policy on abusive behavior. In retaliation, the Nigerian government banned Twitter from the African nation. Boom! The federal government has suspended indefinitely the operations of the microblogging and social networking service Twitter in Nigeria. The country's Federal Ministry of Information and Culture tweeted Friday night. Twitter's public policy division responded on Saturday morning by this. We are deeply concerned by the blocking of Twitter in Nigeria. Access to free and open internet is an essential human right in modern society. We will work to restore access to all those in Nigeria who rely on Twitter to communicate and connect with the world. Hashtag keep it on. Twitter's declaration and access to its platform is a human right ignited a firestorm of criticism and mockery. Yes, we mock you, we shame you. You guys are clowns over at Twatter, of the social media network site, since it has a reputation for silencing conservative voices and, let me add, independent and classical liberal voices as well, including former President of the United States, 45th, Donald Trump. Ted Cruz, curious, in Twitter's own words, they are willfully denying Donald Trump an essential human right in modern society. Jenna Ellis, are you so deeply concerned about the blocking of Twitter users in America? Asking for a friend. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, boss lady, we are deeply concerned by the blocking of Donald Trump by Twitter. Access to a free and open internet is an essential human right in modern society. Unblock Trump and stop with the hypocritical virtual signaling. My thoughts. Nigeria drops the proverbial bomb and basically says, yeah, Twitter, you clowns, you suck ass, yeah, get to stepping. So, granted, there are different platforms out there that Nigerians can access to get their news. Twatter is not news. Twatter is fodder. That is what Twatter is. It's Twatter. It's shite talk. It's nonsense. It's trash. For every one real piece of information, credible information that Twitter puts out, 6 or 7 pieces are just garbage. But regarding this situation with Nigeria, Nigeria's president was 100% right to answer the way he answered and basically give a nice teaching lesson to those who are not familiar with the Nigerian war. And I'm sure there are a lot of those under the age of 30 who didn't even know that war existed between 67 and 70, unless you're an historian. But my applause to the Nigerian government for basically telling Twatter to go pound rocks and kick sand. And yeah, hypocrites. They're everywhere. Story number 3, and we're going to wrap this up. This comes out of Headline Planet. Tom MacDonald's Snowflakes reaches #1 on the charts. Following in the chart-topping footsteps of recent releases Fake, Woke, and Clown World, Tom MacDonald's new Snowflakes have soared to the summits of the U.S. mountain. Snowflakes reached #1 on the stores of all genre sales listing Friday afternoon and remains #1 at press time. Snowflakes seized the throne from BTS's Butter Cooler remix. Okay, never heard of them. Tom MacDonald's songs have always been selling well over the past years, but issues-driven songs like Fake, Woke, and Snowflakes have made the most immediate impact from a sales standpoint. The video is faring well. It boasts 850,000 YouTube views. It's from what I saw right now, I think it's well over a million views right now. But it slams the message home.
If you lie to the government, they'll put you in prison. But when they lie to all of us, it's called being a politician. You think taking guns away will save our kids from the killings? But you're pro-choice, abortion kills way more children. If America's so terrible and racist, it probably isn't safe to encourage immigration. Just saying, all the contradictions are embarrassing. You know who hates America the most? Americans. Trigger warnings used to be on TV for seizures, and now they're everywhere to protect millennials' feelings. He, she, his, him, hers, them, they. Screw a pronoun, because everyone's a retard.
For those who don't know, that's Blair White, who happens to be a trans himself, who's also a conservative. My thoughts. I'll tell you right now, Tom MacDonald is fearless. He is savage. In regards to this, I didn't know about Tom MacDonald until last year. I saw the 2 videos previously to this one, and he makes it point. He slams that point home. This is probably his best work. He makes it obviously clear regarding all the SJWs and the woke mob, how hypocritical they are, and he pounds it home in this video. But tip my hat off to Tom MacDonald. Slams it home. I mean, he does. I mean, he takes that proverbial Thor hammer and drops it like Thor in Wakanda. Gotta love it. And with that being said, these are 3 stories you may or may have not missed. I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more videos just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.